Hey guys, welcome to YaleNats Financial. Today we're going to be going over budgeting, the simplicity of it and the power that it can have. And if you stay tuned towards the end, we'll go over the perfect app combination that I use myself to make budgeting perfectly simple that anybody can do it. First, it's good to understand why budgeting is so important. I believe that budgeting is so important because the power that it has can really change your life. You can go from living paycheck to under paycheck to paycheck to basically being able to buy whatever you like. Budgeting is really tough, but it can be really simple with a few tricks. And if you set your mind to make it simple for you, because you have to remember, you're the one who spends the money, you're the one who makes the money. So it's all up to you. One of the most important reasons for budgeting is being able to pay your bills on time comfortably and being able to save up enough money for the unexpected, because the unexpected will happen. The first thing you need to do with budgeting before you do anything, set any goals, is you need to write down a plan of how your perfect month would be. By perfect month, I mean that which bills would be paid, how much money would be in savings, how much money would be in vacation, how much money would go to things such as movies, going out to eat, hanging out with your family, and things of that nature. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to write down all your expenses. You want to write down your mortgage, your rent, your car note, your bills, your daycare, your food, going out to eat, going out with your friends. Write down everything and make sure to round up just so you can give yourself a buffer room. One of the biggest problems with budgeting people do, besides obviously not doing it, is not knowing exactly where their money goes. Sometimes you may have a subscription to something from a few months ago or a few years ago that you don't even remember that you have, but you're still paying for it every month. It's always good to comb through your expenses at least every 6 months to a year. It's always good to see everything that's come out of your account, where it's going, and if you really, really need it. It's always important to understand your needs and your wants. So your needs are things like your mortgage, your rent, your car insurance, your car note, daycare. And then you get into the category of wants. Wants are the things that you do basically for fun. Sometimes you may choose to go out for lunch instead of packing a lunch or making your lunch. Things like that can really blur the lines on where your budget is going. And that's really important to kind of understand, hey, this is something that I have to have 100% and this is something that I could probably live without. This is one that I see a lot in my generation. I see a lot of people trying to keep up with the Joneses, as they say, or keep up with, their neighbors, their friends, and their peers. Now, big purchases are big budget eaters. Now, if you do a little bit of research, maybe put the purchase off for a week or two, you might be able to find a better deal. Or you might just pass on it altogether. And this right here can really get you into a lot of trouble, especially if you're making a different salary, different amount of money, or you have different expenses such as more kids, or you live in a different neighborhood where the rent or the mortgage is a little bit more expensive. After you've made the plan for your budget and wrote down all your expenses, you can see where your money's going and you know how much money you're bringing in, and you can kind of see where you have wiggle room at, what you can let go. Maybe you don't need 200 channels. Maybe you can do with the 50 channel package. The way to keep budgeting simple is to make it easy for yourself. Remember, you don't have to save 80% of your paycheck in the first month. When making a budget, it's important to remember what gives you value, what brings value to not only you, but your life and your family's life. I know, for instance, for me, I'll spend a little bit more money on something quality that I know can last longer rather than get a cheaper version that I know won't last as long. My budgeting strategy since my 20s has been, I'll only buy one if I can afford three. So basically, if something costs $1,000, if I don't have at least $3,000 in my bank account, I will not buy it. This strategy that I use, I call it the 1 to 3, has increased my savings dramatically because I really pass up on a lot of stuff that I can't afford, and I'm okay with that. I've also heard other people, they have different measurements. I heard one guy say, don't buy one if you can't buy 10. Now, I think that may be a little stretch, but you got to set your bar high if you want to really turn your budgeting around. Remember that everyone's budgeting goals and saving goals are different. The main reason that I budget personally is because I always look into the future. I want to bring a lot of money into the future, and I want to be ready for whatever the future brings my way. So I told you I would share with you at the end the perfect budgeting pair. I believe a credit card and the Mint app from Intuit will be the perfect budgeting pair for anybody to set this budget up. The reason why this pair is so good, because Intuit, you can kind of set your budgeting goals for what you want to spend each month in each category. Budgeting apps are perfect because they log your spending and they track your spending for you. So you can know what you're spending on groceries, what you're spending on food, what you're spending on going out, and you can kind of compare that month to month, which is great. Remember, budgeting apps are very beneficial as they take the legwork out for you and they kind of make things a little bit simpler. If anybody has tried any budgeting apps, let me know in the comments what you like the best, or if you've tried Mint, let us know how you're using it. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, don't forget to do that. Thanks. Till next time.